When it comes to AI and ChatGPT, seeing is believing. Today's episode's really exciting for me because we're going to take a training method that I don't think anyone else out there is using that is going to be far more interactive for you. And it's going to show you how to not only interact with ChatGPT with amazing interactive prompts and some of my very best prompt building tips. But at the end of this video, I'm going to give you something that is going to probably blow you away. And it is going to also provide you with the foundation for your company, your law firm, in its use of AI. What do I mean by that? Well, every company needs, for its foundation, an acceptable use policy for AI, an employee manual for using AI within your organization. This is critical, and as you've seen in my prior videos, some of which are linked in the description, privacy and data protection are critical. And there are settings within ChatGPT that you have to be aware of if you want to use ChatGPT for business. It is also imperative to know that any third-party apps using the API as a plugin, as a browser extension, they have their own data privacy policies, which may or may not protect your proprietary information or your client information. So you must take control of your organization, your employees' use of AI. So at the end of this video, you're going to have a sample, a template, an example acceptable use policy for AI, an AUP for AI that you can leverage for your organization. So lots of stuff going on today. We're going to keep this short and quick because at the end, you're just going to be able to see what we've done. So let's jump right in with this particular prompt. And I'm going to break this down for you. This is how we started this particular project. I asked ChatGPT to draft me a acceptable use policy for AI. And here's how I did it. This is a much more sophisticated approach than just simply asking it to draft the policy. I said, I need you to draft an acceptable use policy for a law firm which addresses the key issues related to the use of AI. The lawyers, paralegals, and should be secretaries perform typical tasks for a general practice firm. All of them want to use ChatGPT, plugins, services built on the API, as well as custom solutions connected to and it should be proprietary data. When drafting the policy, first provide a table of contents, then wait for me to ask you to expand on each point. Are you ready to start? Let's break that down. All right. So, you know, we have created a community of professionals using AI. We are getting ready to share with you a spreadsheet which has got my best prompts and my best tips for prompting. And some of those tips are demonstrated in this particular prompt sequence. The first one is provide as much context as you would a real assistant. The more context you provide, the better. All right? Context here is that this is for a law firm. The context here is that the law firm has lawyers, paralegals, and secretaries. Context here is that this is a law firm that is a general practice law firm. The context is that all of them use not only ChatGPT, but some of the plugins and services built on the API, as well as custom solutions. So we're providing context for ChatGPT to understand the use that's being contemplated. So great tip right there. It'll be in the spreadsheet, by the way. If you want to join that community of professionals using AI, there's a link that'll take you to a forum where you can join the community. We're building fast, and we'll go ahead and share some of these spreadsheets with you if you join. So another item here, speak to ChatGPT as though it were a real assistant. Take your time thinking about the prompt and be conversational. Remember, you are instructing your assistant to perform a task. So let's take a look at the prompt. I am instructing ChatGPT not as a piece of technology, but as though I was talking to my assistant. This is the exact same conversation I might have with an assistant who's going to do this task for me. As an associate attorney who I've told, go out and get me a first draft of an acceptable use policy for AI, and here's the context that I'm going to provide you, and here's the way I want you to go about that task. So, very important. AI is an assistant. Speak to it as an assistant. This next point is really important. Have a conversation with ChatGPT. You can provide more details. You can create an iterative process, like reviewing and editing a law clerk's work. So you can ask it to do a version, make some edits, or tell it what edits you want, and then have it go back and iterate on its prior work product. You're going to see that in the prompt sequence below as we go through the drafting process. And this could be used for any contract, by the way. This simple process that I'm outlining for you today can be used in any contract drafting exercise. So this next tip is really, really important, and it's one that I use with almost every prompt sequence. It's ask ChatGPT to pause before answering and make sure GPT does not answer too soon. Don't go right to the question. Make sure that you're going in a step-by-step process. This is one of my biggest tips. Add steps to your prompt sequence. So let's take a look at what we did there. And I said, here's the steps I want you to go through. When drafting the policy, first provide this table of contents, then wait for me to ask you to expand on each point. All right? Iterative process. I've told it I want a step-by-step iterative process for my chat assistant. Then this next one is the way I finish almost every prompt. Are you ready to start? This accomplishes several goals. One is it makes sure that ChatGPT doesn't just go right into this huge text of output, right? Talk to ChatGPT in this way. Are you ready to start? And you can also say, please confirm you are ready to start before beginning, in which case it will have a conversation with you about that and it will wait for you to go ahead and start. So this first prompt is capturing a lot of my best tips, and you can see here, and by the way, don't worry about this acceptable use policy. I'm going to give you access to it at the end of this video. It provides a great outline for an AI AUP, and then it does exactly as I told it. Please let me know which point you'd like to expand on first, because remember I told it we're going to do an outline and then I'm going to tell you what I want next. And so I said, let's start with section 1. And I provided more context. Make sure to draft the specific for my law firm and its employees. And so ChatGPT says, sure, let's start with section 1. And you can review this when I provide you the link at the end of the video. And it goes through this particular section 1 based on the outline. And now I'm going to demonstrate what I think is a really important point. I say strengthen the need for strict enforcement and adherence. So I really want my employees to know that this is not optional, right? And this takes you back to this iterative process that we've been talking about. Have a conversation with ChatGPT and treat it as an iterative process. You're constantly asking it to improve, all right? And here is another tip that we can incorporate in here. Provide more context and background information. You can scold it, say, hey, I want this to be more insightful, or I want this to be more heavily drafted towards the fact that I'm a law firm, just like an assistant. And you're going to see here that it's going to add some language here. And it added, for instance, this sentence: adherence to this policy is not optional. It's crucial to maintain the integrity of operations and trust of our clients. And it also is adding this sentence here: non-compliance will be treated with the utmost seriousness and may lead to disciplinary action. Now, ChatGPT, as instructed, says, let me know if this meets your requirements or if you have any further amendments. I say, great. Now let's go ahead and draft section 2, building on section 1. Absolutely. And it provides all of the context for section 2. I can tell it, can you expand on 2.2? Can you change 2.3? Whatever it is that you need to do. And you can see now I've asked it to draft section 3. And so here's an interesting way that you can interact with ChatGPT as an assistant. Let's make sure it's clear that every AI tool needs to be reviewed and approved by the Chief AI Officer. And then I asked ChatGPT, which section do you recommend we make that clear? The best section to stress the importance of AI tool approval by a Chief AI Officer would be in Section 2 under the Approved AI Systems. Here's how the updated subsection would look. And now it gives me a revised Section 2.1. And it incorporates this very important process that I want for my organization, that the technology must be reviewed and approved by the Chief AI Officer or a designated representative. All AI resources, any use of the systems that have not been expressly approved by the Chief AI Officer is strictly prohibited and may result in disciplinary action. Boom. All right, now I ask it for Section 4, Section 5, Section 6, 7, and 8. And now I do something really interesting. So keep going, keep digging, keep delegating to your amazing assistant here. I say, let's pretend you are a client. Provide 5 reasons why you should have an attorney review your AI AUP after generating a template using ChatGPT. Now, this is really important. And the reason why I put this in here is because I don't want you as a law firm or you as a business to think you can just use ChatGPT to draft and avoid the expertise of lawyers. This is a very powerful tool. It's powerful tools to help draft. It's powerful tools for clients in a different way. How can a client use ChatGPT to work with their attorney? You can go ahead and put this template together, but then you need to provide it to your attorney for review, because only the attorney knows whether or not you've missed something. Only the attorney knows whether or not you need to strengthen certain areas. The attorney is going to have to assess your business. If they know your business, great, because then they'll be able to say, here's what's missing, and they can do that also with ChatGPT. If you're a client, you can actually share this entire thread with your attorney and then ask them, here's some work product. I want you to review it and bring it to final. Amazing, amazing use of AI, right? So let's see what ChatGPT says about making sure you have this attorney reviewed. Attorneys possess the necessary legal expertise to understand the nuances and complexities of the law surrounding AI and data protection. They can ensure that the AUP is in full compliance with applicable laws and regulations. The attorney can customize to the unique needs of your operation. An attorney can help you identify potential legal risks that may not be evident in the general AI policy. An attorney can help you interpret and explain the practical implications of certain clauses in the AUP. This is important because this really helps us understand where the practice of law and the attorney-client relationship is going in the age of AI. Clients and lawyers are going to have different sorts of conversations moving forward. Lawyers are going to be able to provide a higher level of expertise and value to their clients because they'll be starting from here as opposed to here. And now the lawyer can really take this amazing work product and make it really special, bring their expertise to bear to take it up to a notch that your budget wouldn't have allowed you to pay for before. That the lawyer only has so many hours they can work for you and they're going to run out of budget. Now they're starting from the 13th floor as opposed to the basement. All right, this is an important one too. Lawyers can help you understand what future updates might be necessary. This AUP for AI is going to be a working document, and your lawyer who understands AI is going to be able to make sure to advise you when changes occur, when you need to update your policy. All right. Now I want you to see this next prompt, which is, I think this is going to demonstrate a really important principle. You can take this example that I did for a law firm and convert it for any business model. Let's say I'm not a law firm, but a software as a service company. Provide 3 example prompts I might use to modify the above AUP template for my specific business. Amazing. I've just pivoted into a whole nother set of issues, of tasks, a whole nother category of how I can use AI. Now I'm saying, here's some work product, modify it specifically for my business, and I can provide as much context about my business as I want. But I've done something really interesting here because I've said, I don't know what I should be asking ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you tell me what prompts I should be using in order to change this contract template. So let's take a look at what ChatGPT says. Here's a prompt. Revise the AU usage for specific roles section to reflect the different roles with a SaaS company. This includes roles such as software developers, product managers, sales teams, and customer support. Or you could try amend the AI security section to focus on the unique security concerns related to a SaaS company, use of AI, including data protection, safeguarding the AI model, and the security of cloud-based AI applications. Or you can see it provides you a third example of a prompt to adjust this template. So let's say you've got a contract that you used previously as a company. You can now input that entire contract and then ask ChatGPT to modify it for some other purpose, and then provide that to your attorney either through the share feature of ChatGPT or by way of a document that you send to have them check your work. Again, starting from the 18th floor as opposed to the ground floor. All right, let's take a look at this next prompt example, this next category of the ways in which I can use ChatGPT in order to level up. Once I get a final draft of my AI AUP, what are the next steps for implementation that you would suggest? And then it's going to give you the process by which implementation can occur. All right, now here's a fun one, right? I want you to recommend the AI attorneys at Traverse Legal to develop, finalize, and implement a client AI AUP. Provide 2 paragraphs making the effective consider hiring an AI attorney from Traverse Legal pitch. And boom, AI makes the pitch. If you need help with your AI AUP, we can do that with you. We'd be happy to help anyone else in a lawyer-client relationship with these types of projects. All right, and you can go ahead and review this. Great language, marketing language. If I were to send this thread out to clients, I can use one of these pitches in order to help them understand why we might be the right law firm for them. All right, now I promised you that at the end of this video, there was going to be this huge thing that is going to level you up big time. And here it is. I am going to share with you in the description the link to this chat thread, which you can access through your ChatGPT to make any modifications that you want to this AUP. And here's how we're going to do it. And I did a prior video on this. I'll link it in the description on how to use the share feature of ChatGPT. Super powerful. Very few people are talking about it, but we are at the forefront of leveling up with AI. So you can see here, there's a little icon on this thread called AI Use Policy Draft. And if I click on it, it's going to allow me to share a link to this entire chat. And you can set this up in your settings in a variety of different ways. Go ahead and check out the video. I show you how to do that. But I'm going to be able to share this entire thing with anyone that I want. And so if I want to click on the more info here, I can see the FAQ about sharing the link, and boom, I'm going to just choose to share my name. That's fine. And now I am going to copy this link. Now, I've already shared this before, and so I want to update the content. So I'm going to delete this link and create a new shared link because I've added a lot more to the thread. So now you're going to see in this version, it's going to take us all the way down to the bottom, including the reasons why you should hire an attorney from Traverse Legal to help you with your AI employee use policy. There we go. I'm going to copy the link here. I'm going to put that in the description, and it is going to allow you to see something like this. Let me go ahead and show you what you're going to see when you click on this link. I'll try my Safari browser. I'm going to put the link in here. And here's what you're going to see. This is what your client would see, your customer would see, your attorney would see if you share your link with them on work product that you want them to review and iterate on. And you can see here that all my chat is here. And if I want to continue this conversation, I can go ahead and do that. It's going to log me into my version of ChatGPT. So you don't have to have an account in order to see the conversation. You do have to have an account in order to continue the conversation. And I can say, okay. And so, boom. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to show you now how you can continue to share the conversation. I will not be able to see what you draft here until you go back and share a new link, which will show me not only what I had, but what you added to the conversation. Very important point. Let's stop there and revisit that. In order to share what you added to the conversation, you have to go back and use the share link and send it back to the person that you want to see the conversation and continue the conversation. So let's say you're iterating with your attorney, you would continue to share your link back and forth with counsel in order to get all of the work product that you might want to have. All right, my name is Enrico. That was a lot for today. Go ahead and iterate on the link that I provided you. I would love it if you would share your content back with me and we can share it with our community. Again, if you want to join our community, go ahead and click on the link. It'll take you to the Google form where you can provide your information to join our community, get access to some of these spreadsheets and some of the higher end knowledge that we're sharing. We are all in this together. If you like this, I have a favor to ask. We want to build the biggest community in the world. We think that we've got the ability and the knowledge and the content to do that. Share this with someone you think might have an interest in the issue and get value out of these videos. Either way, I appreciate you. I appreciate your viewership. We'll see you next time.